Hey everyone. For those of you who are new here, I'm Josh, and in this video, I want to discuss how a lot of people's opinions of you will actually be projection. So projection is this psychological term where people will kind of place their feelings and sometimes their beliefs onto other people, and they do this often unconsciously. They're not even aware of it, and most people, they generally lack a lot of self-awareness, so they're not doing this on purpose. It's something that they're doing because they haven't really worked on themselves. But the whole reason I'm bringing this up is because this should empower you to not worry so much what other people think of you. Because if people are going to be projecting their own feelings onto you, that means that they're not really saying you are X, Y, or Z. They're more so saying, I feel X, Y, and Z, and because of that, I'm going to judge you in this way due to those own feelings of mine that I'm not even aware of, and with that, they can often be wrong about you. So to make this concept easier to understand, I'll use an example. Let's say that there's a woman that you know, her name is Mary, and Mary's an incredibly kind, nice, and outgoing person that almost everyone who knows her loves her because she's a good person. And let's say there's another guy that you know named Jim, and Jim does not like Mary. Now, the reason Jim doesn't like Mary is actually because Jim is a bad person. He is not a good person. He doesn't take good care of himself. He doesn't really like who he is, and he often can be a bit antagonistic towards other people, and he just isn't all that enjoyable to be around. Well, if Jim doesn't like Mary, do you think that's because Mary is actually a bad person, even though you have all these people who love her? Or is it more because Jim doesn't like how Mary triggers all of his insecurities? Mary is this paragon of goodness in front of him who shows him that he's lacking that goodness. He's lacking all those good qualities that she has. And that triggering feeling can make it so that he does not want to be around Mary because she doesn't make him feel good, because she reminds him of all those bad qualities within himself that he doesn't want to work on. This is exactly what projection is like. This is how you can end up with real examples of this, where you have women like Mary who have Jims of the world who don't like her. It's not because she's a bad person, it's because the Jims are bad. Okay, to anyone who's named Mary or Jim who's watching this video, I apologize for using your names as examples, but hopefully this drives home my point here. This means that you could be like the best person on the planet for a lot of people. You could be a great friend to a lot of people. You could be helping a lot of people, and you can still have people who won't like you, who will have bad opinions of you. So know that this doesn't mean that you are a bad person. It just means that those people have inner work they have yet to do. Because if they actually worked on themselves, they would probably like you. If there aren't bad qualities about you, if you're not an a-hole, if you're not purposely rude to other people, if you actually account for other people's emotions and whatnot when you engage with them, if you're considerate of other people, then how could people dislike you, right? That's pretty much what you would want in a good friend or family member or coworker or whatever. You'd want them to be considerate and kind and empathic towards others. So if you have those qualities and there's still people who dislike you, know that it has nothing to do with you. The people who dislike you are projecting because you trigger them. You make them not feel so great about themselves because your good qualities can remind them of those bad qualities that they have within, of all that inner work they have yet to do. So remind yourself of this, because this is a phenomenon that happens every day out there in life. This is super common. So know that you will encounter people who won't like you for all sorts of reasons, but it's almost always because they're projecting onto you because you make them feel not so great about themselves. So yeah, this is a real world phenomenon. It kind of sucks to deal with. I mean, ever since I started making these videos, I've received really random comments at random times from people that just are rude for no apparent reason, and I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm trying to help people here. Why is this person just attacking me? I don't get it. And I often have to remind myself of this phenomenon because it helps me continue making videos without letting those negative comments get to me. I mean, heck, just the other day I had this person tell me that my voice, the way I talk, was triggering them. They said I came off condescending and disingenuous, and that's literally, it's just the way I talk. I was reading the comment what the hell? This is literally how I talk. I'm not changing my voice. And they said I was trying too hard to come off soft or something, or to soften my voice. I don't know. But basically my whole point is knowing that this is a phenomenon that a lot of people deal with, can help you deal with receiving opinions from other people that do leave you kind of bewildered because you end up thinking, somebody else actually thinks that of me? Like, I come off in that way to them? Because sometimes it can be like the complete opposite of what you intend or what you really like, and it's unfortunate. It ties in with how I often talk about, people thinking that they have you all figured out when they really don't. Again, it's usually them projecting their own crap onto you and thinking that they know what you're like because of that projection, even though they don't know you. Like, especially with people who leave comments on my videos, like, very few people have been following me long enough to know what I'm truly like. And even for the people who have been following me for years, they still won't know what I'm truly like because you're only seeing me making videos and voicing the opinions of the topics within the videos. So, like, the only real way for you to find out what I'm truly like would be to actually spend time with me in person. And some of you actually have. So the people who have met me in person, you guys have the best idea of what I'm truly like. So whenever people think they have me all figured out and they have these really interesting opinions of me, it sometimes can be a bit disconcerting because, I don't want to come off in those ways to people. Like, especially that person talking about my voice, saying I came off condescending and disingenuous. That I'll be honest, that hurt me a bit because I'm like, that is not at all how I want to come off. Like, holy crap, that is not what I intend. And yeah, so it sucked reading that. But again, I just reminded myself, people will think random crazy things, and you just got to let it happen and not let it get to you, because it says a lot more about them than it does you. That person who was having all that issue with my voice, I truly wonder if they knew someone in the past who spoke somewhat similarly to me, and that person may have betrayed their trust or something, or hurt them in some other way. So maybe they just, there's so many people could have all sorts of different past experience that could lead them to not liking you for whatever reason. So you just have to remind yourself of that. Don't really sweat it. Don't get caught up in other people's opinions of you, and just remind yourself that, rather often people's opinions of you are going to be based in projection. So don't let it get to you. Just keep moving forward, and that's pretty much all I have for you. If I keep going, I'll sound like a broken record and repeat myself, so I'm going to end the video here. But I truly hope you enjoyed this one. If you like content like this, be sure to subscribe for more. If you're already subscribed, be sure to throw a thumbs up for the algorithm. It truly helps me out, and definitely let me know your thoughts on this topic in the comment section below. I'd be interested to see what you guys have to say about this, and especially share your own experience here, because all of us have experienced at one point or another in our lives. And if you don't realize that, you definitely have. It just may have been a situation where you were actually listening to what the other person was saying about you and buying it as the truth, when it may have just been them projecting their own crap onto you. And sometimes we're not wise enough to realize that until much later. But it's a pretty common thing. So hopefully now you know how to deal with it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci!